So what does it take to make over $100,000 in 1 year from the information in your head? We're going to find out the answer to that and more in today's episode of GFC TV. What's going on, party people? Jeff Rose back from GoodFinancialSense.com, and today we're going to talk about online courses. Now, this is something that I procrastinated. How many syllables is that? Procrastinated my butt off. I've been talking about doing an online course for over 5 years. 5 years, I said it, 5. 5 years I talked about doing an online course, but I made every excuse in the book to not do it. Finally, 2 years ago, I launched my online course. Now, this was catered specifically to financial advisors, how to use online marketing to grow their business. And in this course, in the first year, I made 6 figures. So what in the world was I waiting on? No idea. But don't make that mistake that I did. So the cool thing is I got a chance to sit down with Ankur, who is the CEO founder of Teachable.com. And if you're not familiar with Teachable.com, they are an online platform that make creating, marketing, and selling your course stupid easy. And without their platform, I never would have launched my course because I just would have been inundated with all the different technologies, all the different payment systems, and I just wouldn't have done it. Teachable.com makes it stupid easy to create your course, to put the content there, to host it, to sell it, everything that you need to create and sell your course. And he's been able to work with tons and tons of course creators that have crushed it. If you think making 6 figures is a big deal, how about making 7 figures all from the information in your head? So I got a chance to sit down with him at FinCon, which is a financial blogger conference this past year in Dallas. And in this interview, we sat down to learn what are the 7 things that you need to do to create a course, not just to make a little bit of money, but how do you make 6 figures from an online course? So let's find out what those 7 strategies are today. Let's check it out. What's going on, everybody? Jeff Rose from Good Financial Sense with a special guest today. And today we're talking about something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. It took me almost 7 years to do this, but it was launching my first course. And launching a course can be very intimidating, but once you do it and you market it well, it can be very rewarding. It's one of the best things I've done for my business. And today I've got Ankur from Teachable.com, and he's here to kind of just share some of his wisdom. And they've got tons of people on their platform, which we'll talk about at the end. But today we want to talk about 7 strategies that you can do to make your first course and make a lot of money with it. So Ankur, tell me a little bit about what courses and how people are making money and what that looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. So at this point, it's funny, I feel like a grizzled veteran since we've been running Teachable for almost 4 years now, and in the process have watched, seen tens of thousands of people launch their course, 7 million students, and we've seen all the data on what works and what doesn't. And we've basically seen people make almost $100 million on our platform.
That's $100 million. There's 2 commas, a lot of zeros in that.
Yeah. In fact, I think in the next 2 weeks we're going to get there. So counting down. We have a big countdown in our office. It's pretty exciting. But in the process, we've seen exactly what works and what doesn't. And we've also coached now a lot of people launch their first online course. And that's the stuff I want to share with the audience is okay, if you've never made an online course before, what are 7 kind of steps that you can take to get your first course out there?
Awesome. Cool. And I know something, like I said, it took me a while to launch my course. When I finally did, Teachable was a platform that just made it stupid easy.
Yep.
I mean, stupid easy.
Was the course easier or harder than you thought when you first before you first created it?
I know for me, initially it was doing the outline.
Yeah.
And I actually had somebody kind of walk me through it. Yep. But then Teachable made it where I had no excuses not to do it, because how am I going to
technology is the easy part,
How am I going to process payments? How am I going to host the video? How am I going to, just track everything? Teachable, there it is, plug Teachable, but that made it easy. So once I got the outline done, it was pretty well smooth sailing from there.
That's awesome. So with that, we'll dive in. The first thing that I think it's really, really important to get down, and it might seem easy, but it's really nailing your idea. And the one thing people get wrong with the idea is I think the easiest way to think about a course idea is to reduce it into what is an online course. And in my mind, an online course is a transformation. or it's an outcome that someone achieves. That's what a course is. It's not just a collection of videos. So if you can take your idea and reduce it to an outcome or a transformation, like one thing a student gets, and then think about that as your idea, everything else flows from there. So for your course, what do you think is the one thing someone gets from it?
Yeah, I know for like my first course, it was financial advisors that wanted to have some success in online marketing, that didn't know anything about online marketing, that basically just wanted to get their first lead,
Yep.
Through social media, blogging, something like that's what they wanted.
Yep.
And that's what
I think it's really important. So like, we'll talk about these guys through the entire video here, but we had two guys, John and Elliot, who they first thought their course was on iPhone programming, but after working a little bit, it's like, no, your course is on teaching someone how to build their first iPhone app in 8 weeks. So really, if you can take your course idea and reduce it to what the outcome is, what the transformation is, it makes everything so much easier.
Right. That's awesome.
Yep.
Cool. All right, what's number 2?
Number 2 is pricing. Number 2 is like finding the right price for your course.
Yeah, that could be a tough one too.
It can be a tough one, and more than that, like a lot of people, in general, most people undercharge. When you're creating your first course, you have this kind of conception that your information is not that valuable. Why would someone pay money for it? So pricing is something we've done a lot of research in, and the data shows, 1, do not price your course under $100. I mean, 97 is fine, 99 is fine. I'm including that as $100, but pricing your course under $100 soon becomes a race to the bottom, where you start creating these courses that people are not even completing because,
There's not a lot invested into it.
not a lot invested into it.
Yeah.
So the data we have shows that the more money people pay for courses, the more likely they're to actually watch the videos. There's nothing worse than releasing a course and realizing no one is touching it.
Yeah.
They report higher satisfaction ratings when they pay more, and you get better students. You get students that are investing more in the course, investing more in themselves. They're better to work with. So we recommend, kind of setting the price as a base price of $100, with most people finding success. The average price of the top selling course on our platform is about $300. So that's a good starting price for a lot of people. But the one exercise we tell people to do is think about what price they want to charge, and as a leap of faith, double it. Like, it normally works pretty well. A lot of people, their second launch, they raise the price to twice as much, and their conversion rate stays exactly the same.
Yeah.
So they make twice as much money with a price that's twice as much.
I'm gonna actually talk about this in another video, but one of my pricing strategies that I tell people is whatever price that you are scared to charge.
Exactly.
Like what price do you think is too much
Yeah.
that you would never ask? Take that price,
Yep.
double it, and then add 50%.
Yeah.
And that's most likely closer to
Yeah,
what your price
yeah.
is.
That's great.
Like
So
that's where you probably should
we
be pricing
actually,
your course.
while speaking at FinCon a couple of days ago, I actually made the room of 150 people chant, "I will charge more." Do some Tony Robbins stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, step 2 is pricing, and then what we do after that, in like kind of a step 3, which is really, really, really simple step, is 1, I want people to understand that to sell an online course, I mean, you know this, some people know this, but just to make it very clear, the way of selling an online course is you build an email list of people interested in your topic, interested in your blog, interested in who you are. Basically, build that email list and you launch a course to them. What I want people to do at this step is kind of think about what their goals are for an online course, like how much money would you want to make, and then work backwards to figure out how many people they need in their email list. So the formula we use is, say you want to make $10,000, that's equal to the number of people in your email list, and we tell people to make the assumption 2% of people in your email list will buy, multiplied by the price. So say it's a $300 course, 2% conversion rate. You can then do the math and figure out how many subscribers you need to hit in order to hit $10,000.
Right.
And by doing this, you simplify a lot of stuff, because then your entire approach becomes, okay, let me not worry about anything except how do I go out and get 1,000 email subscribers or 1,500 email subscribers, or how many of your email subscribers you need. And that simplifies the entire course launch process, which becomes this, it starts off as an overwhelming thing, but then it simplifies into, okay, how do I go out and acquire 1,000 email subscribers? And we tell people to focus on that number and getting that subscriber base before recording their content. We've seen too many people spend hours recording and building the perfect course, having 0 subscribers, and then they don't hit their goals.
Yeah. I mean, and for some of you, if you're not bloggers, if you're not content producers, you don't have an email list, like that might sound a bit intimidating. you don't have to overdo it. I mean, you can start an Excel spreadsheet and just on Facebook, hey, I'm thinking about creating some content based on this idea. And if you want some more information on this, like give me your email address, and just put it in an Excel spreadsheet. Obviously, there's free software like MailChimp that they can use, or ConvertKit. I mean, there's that's not free, but other providers you can use to collect that. Makes it a whole lot easier. But just as a simple way, like, hey, is there any interest in this? Let me just start marketing it, not even marketing it, but just kind of getting some data and research on Facebook, friends, Facebook groups. And
there's
just see
so
if
many
interest.
ways. So that takes us to kind of the fourth step, which is say now we know we need to get 1,000 email subscribers or 500 email subscribers or whatever. You'll realize there's so many ways of doing it. They're all the same idea of like, okay, how can I give away something valuable in return for an email address? Like, I'm sure that's how you built your list, right?
Yeah.
That's how everyone's built their list. But there's so many ways of doing that it's really about finding the one thing you can do to give away value in return for an email address. So John and Elliot, for instance, what they did is and this is the easiest thing you do. You don't need any other software, but they took their course they already had a course on Teachable that they wanted to sell. They took a few videos from that and just marketed it as a free course. So you give that away, get email addresses, and then start building the audience for the paid course.
Awesome. And was it the same free course that they ended up selling, or did they just add more?
It's just the beginning part of the paid course. So
Okay.
we also, like, on the topic of YouTube, we had another creator, Angela Fair. She teaches watercolor painting. She used to first take people from a YouTube video to her paid course, and she's making about $2,000 a month doing that. But when she took people from her YouTube video to her own free course and then sold them the paid course, she quadrupled her earnings.
Wow.
So putting a free course is a great way to like kind of build an email list. You don't have to do that. Some people have blogs, some people give away an ebook, some people give away a PDF, some people do webinars, some people do affiliates. Like there's lots of ways. But really I want people to focus on finding their number, like how many subscribers do they need, hitting that number, because then the whole thing is predictable. Then like you're gonna hit your income goals.
Yeah. And like a little bit about like how I built my list. So with my blog, I was building more of a general list, so just general investors, consumers. But I knew that on my list that I had financial advisors that were stalking me or just like checking out, hey, what is he doing with his email list, so they would sign up. So I've got this huge list, but I don't know who's a financial advisor on my list, right? And I don't want to email my entire list saying, hey, do you want a course on online marketing for financial advisors? So, but I did just send an email list saying, hey, if you're a financial advisor, you might want to check this out.
Nice.
And I just used that to segment. And I think I was able to pull like 400 or 500 financial
Nice.
advisors.
Super targeted.
Super targeted. That way I didn't bombard the entire list with like this course promotion.
Yep.
And that's how I was able to do it. And then there's also some Facebook groups that I was able to.
That's the other reason I like the mini course, is because it automatically selects people that are interested in the main course. Like if your course is the first couple of modules from your premium course, you know they're interested in the same stuff.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about, because I think some people, when they hear a course in general, that can sound very overwhelming. Like I can't even, maybe I've never published a blog post, or I don't know how to like publish a YouTube video. And we're talking about a paid course. When you even say free course, like how much content is there that you're seeing in that? Like
so a free course generally can be anywhere from 10 minutes of video to 20 minutes of video, not a lot. If your course has, say, 6 or 7 modules, maybe the first module, potentially even half the first module. The goal here, I would say, is not to overcomplicate it, to think of what is the smallest bit of information that can provide value. So, again, like whatever the first module is might be a very, very good start.
Yeah. And just I just talked to a blogger last night that she did it was a beta launch of her course, and she said it was, she's not very much a perfectionist. She just likes to record stuff and just ship it. And she said like the slides were horrible. It's just her talking over like PowerPoint slides, and was pretty gnarly is what she said. Yep. She did a beta launch, and she made $22,000 off this thing that she was not very proud of as far as quality. I mean, look-wise, it wasn't that good. Quality-wise, content-wise, it was great. But she just wanted to test the idea, and she put it out there and made $22,000.
But that's the thing. Like, so many people obsess on the wrong things and want to have...
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'm a perfectionist. I want it to look... Just
See,
dynamite.
That's fine if you get it done. A lot of people use that, and they're still in recording mode. We'll talk about this in step 6 when we were creating the content, but I think the most important thing is setting a deadline, focusing on the transformation. The course is about the student, it's not about you. It's not about whether you say or ah in the video. It's not about how good your video looks. It's not about how pretty your slides are. It's like, are you helping people reach the outcome or not?
Yeah.
That is the only thing that matters. And your course does not get better sitting on your hard drive. It does not get better recording it, re-recording it.
Yeah.
The only way it gets better is by putting it in the hands of students, seeing their feedback, having them go through it. And the best part about a course is it's a living product. It's not a book. It's not a book that once your book is on the shelves, you can make it better. Your course, you can always make it better.
Right.
So sometimes the motivation trick for myself, I'll tell myself, okay, just like put this out there. And if I feel unhappy with it, like 4 days later, go back and edit it. But by then it's out there, and you're generally good to go.
Yeah, and that's actually the other cool thing with the course is that it can, once you publish it, it's not like you can't go back and tweak it, or
You can always make it better.
you can always make it better.
And it always, like most people, even when they have a course launch and they re-release it, they take the course, make it better, and launch it back.
And one thing for me that I've had to come to grips with, and not just like course creation, but anything that I do, I am such a perfectionist, and I want to be 100%. And I think a very successful entrepreneur told me once, your 80% is everyone else's 110%.
Yeah.
And so if you are a perfectionist, like it's never going to be what you want it to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it never will be. But if you get it to your 80%, it's good enough.
Yep. No, that's super valuable. And again, the most common place I see people trip up is that kind of perfectionist mode where they edit and re-edit and they are never happy with it, and sometimes then they'll kind of get halfway through and hate everything, throw it all away and start from scratch.
Yeah.
And that's the danger I have, which kind of takes me to point 5, which is what we've seen a lot of people do to get around this is build the sales page. So generally we obviously recommend a tool like Teachable, but whatever tool it is, the goal is to find a technology solution that again doesn't hold you back. You want the technology thing to be the last thing you worry about. Like I would say we at Teachable do our job if you don't think about us. But either way, find a technology solution, go ahead and articulate what the goal of the course is, and build a very, very basic sales page. So on Teachable, it's a fill-in-the-blank template. You enter your name, what the transformation is that your course provides, a description, pick a couple of pricing plans, and you'll have this sales page. That one thing I've seen people do is just take that sales page, and on Teachable, like it's designed to convert, send that to people on your list and just see if anyone buys. Mm-hmm. And based on if they buy, then you record your content, because then you have to get to them.
Yeah. Now, I like what he did because the Teachable, like their sales page, like you don't have to be a designer. It's already done for you. The way that I did it, because I didn't know that, I didn't have this content, this information prior to, I just created a Google Doc and just outlined the course.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't pretty. It was all just white and black text, and that's what I sent out to the advisors. Say,
Nice.
Hey, here's what the course is going to be on.
Yep.
Here's what I'm going to cover. Are you interested? And I gave them
Nice.
a pay option.
Nice.
But I like your way better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the sales page is because eventually you got to create it anyway, so you just type it in. And so, yeah, in the 5th step, we tell people to create their sales page, and then they kind of have 2 paths. One path is you can go from there and pre-sell it or just send it to a few people to see if they'd buy it. And again, with Teachable, they can actually hit a pay button and pay you right there. It's not a theoretical will you buy.
Yeah.
Or alternatively, go to step 6, which is creating the outline and recording your content. So we tell people, a lot of people start by recording content. We tell them to do it almost as a last step. When they've done the hard work of building an email list, they done the math on what a launch should look like, created their sales page, so the content is almost the last step before actually launching the course. But yeah, so that's when we tell people, again, outline. The way we tell people to do it is think about what the transformation is, what is the outcome, and break it down into a list of steps to get there.
Yeah.
And each kind of big point becomes what we call a section. And under that, you put short video-based lectures that could be PowerPoint or Keynote or whatever to help people get to the goal.
Yeah, and like I said, the outline was just because with the book that I wrote, I now recognize like you have to have the outline, because if you don't have the outline, you just start recording content.
Yep.
You kind of get to this point where like, crap, now what?
Yeah.
Like, what's the next step? And you just it's almost like my kids love Legos. And
Yeah.
Legos are the instruction booklet is so stupid easy.
Yeah.
Take one block, put it here.
Yeah.
And that's how I think of the course outline.
Yep.
I mean, you have to make it stupid, easy for people to go from logically step 1, step 2, step 3. And once you kind of can get to that, that's when you go back and record the content.
Yep, and that's why even in step 1, I said figure out what the outcome is, what the transformation is, because that guides the outline. Because then at least you know what the end step is. And your goal is to take them from the start to whatever the outcome is. And then, whatever step along the way becomes a section. And under that, you put in video lectures as the base building block of your entire course.
Yeah, and as far as recording and recording the content, I know I was talking to a blogger last year that she was just stuck. I mean, she had the outline, but she wanted to do high production video, all talking head. She was going to script out everything.
Yeah.
And
You say that, and I'm already going like, oh no.
and I'm like, listen, I go, with my course, like it's, it is financial advisor, so I can charge a higher price point. And with my course, like I have one talking head introduction video in the beginning. Everything else is either PowerPoint or just a screen share. And I used ScreenFlow, to record that.
The biggest thing I think here is people always ask questions like how many hours of video, how often do I have to be on video, and it's like, while I'm happy to give kind of base answers there, that's not the important part, because we see people succeed with either only talking at video or no talking at video or only slides. Some slides might look good, they might not look good. If you kind of find the outcome that your students want to get and take them there, that's literally all that matters.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. So after that, the final step, right? So at this point, the final step that we recommend people do is, one mistake I've seen people make is they just tell people, okay, my course is available, buy it whenever. We recommend most people making your course available for a limited time period. So we call that a launch, but when you're finally done your course, only making it available for purchase for maybe 5 to 8 days, but maybe if it's 10 days, it's fine. But really having a finite time period in which people need to buy a course. Otherwise, you're going to close it down for enrollments. And we've seen that make such a huge difference in final numbers.
Absolutely. And I know whenever I launched my course, I did the beta launch initially, and that was open, I think, for about a week period. I can't remember exactly, but somewhere about 7 to 10 days. When I actually opened it up, and I started doing webinars, or started promoting it, and we did launches as well, over 60% of the sales came in on the last day.
Yep.
And I have to check the stats, but I'd say probably 20% came in like the last 2 hours, before they close the door. People, because it's urgency. I mean, they don't want to miss out. And if they just think it's open all the time, it's like, I'll get it later. I don't need it right now. But like, oh crap, if I'm going to miss out, like I got to get this now. I mean, there's so much truth to that.
You need the why now, like why buy now. And yeah, scarcity is a super important thing. And also for you as a course creator, it helps you think about your work in batches, where you're like, okay, this is my first cohort of people, this is my second cohort of people. So it works out really nicely.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about infomercials, right? Late at night, I don't know how many times I've wanted to buy something because I'm going to get two, not one kitchen knife, I'm getting two.
And there's more.
For the same price. Yeah, and they're going to add on the kitchen towel, whatever, all for $19.95. I mean, I don't need that, but there's something about watching that, like I want to buy it just because, right?
Yeah.
And the same thing of having some sort of time countdown on the course itself. I mean, something closing that's going to make people want to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, so part of this, and it makes sense, is when you launch your course and things seem slow initially, just wait till the last day. Like a lot of times it all comes in at the very, very, very end.
Yeah, but you have to let them know as well. You can't, like, one email saying, hey, it's going to close in 7 days. I mean, there's something you have to keep notifying them.
So something we've done, and people might find it aggressive, so you don't have to do it, but if we've seen people get best results literally sending an email every single day during the launch week. And what you can do is kind of what Jeff did, where you've found a smaller group that's already interested in the course. You're not sending everyone an email every day. What other people have done is they have a link to the top of the email being like, hey, I'm launching my course. If you don't want to hear about this for the next week, click here. Like, I still love you. I'll just not send you emails about almost every day. But otherwise, we've seen like really good launches start out with, you start out by saying, hey, you generally send one email kind of getting them excited when they can't even buy, be like, hey, this is coming soon and it's got all of this. Then an email saying, hey, buy now or whatever. Then another email, if you have a few students come in that has the social proof, being like, hey, Tim from Nevada just joined, and here's what Tim says about the course, and kind of outline the testimonials. Then something else, maybe adding in like, hey, we just decided to add this other bonus thing to anyone that buys. And from that point onwards, you can start the scarcity, being like, you know what, there's 2 days left, and there's 1 day left, and 6 hours left.
Right.
But like all of those emails generally lead to a small trickle in sales, with the final, like there's 6 hours left or whatever, really bringing in a lot of stuff home.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And just to talk a little about Teachable, so if you don't know this about me, I am a high fact finder. I over-research things. So whenever I was going to launch my course, I was researching all the different platforms, WordPress plugins, payment processors, and then a good buddy of mine, Noah, referred me to Ankur here, and I started looking at Teachable, and I don't know, initially I was like, I don't know, I need to do some more research first, right? And then I remember asking the guys in my mastermind, like, well, why'd you choose Teachable? Because you could use this plugin and do this, and you might save a little bit of money. But I thought, you know what, that just gives me more excuses to not publish and ship it.
Yeah.
And Teachable made it so easy. And that was, 2 years ago, I think? And I mean, the platform has grown so much. I mean, you've added so many features to it that make it even easier, which like blows my mind. Just talk a little bit about like how Teachable assists people.
Yeah,
creating
absolutely.
content.
So again, as I mentioned earlier, the goal of Teachable is to have people not think about technology. Like one of our customers said it better than we ever could, where she was like, "Look, I like to teach. I'm an author. I'm a creator. My job is to deliver engaging content, not deal with." She swore, I'm not going to swear now, but deal with swear word plugins. So like she's like not trying to stitch together like 12 different things and pray to God it all stays together on launch day. So our goal is to just make the technology really, really simple. And when we're done with that, think about ways where we can make people more money by using the platform. Because Teachable might be $39 a month or $99 a month or whatever. You can offset that with like one extra sale can offset that for many months, and our goal is how can we provide that. So we make things like, if you want to add a one-click upsell after you purchase, really, really easy, so that someone using Teachable might go the extra step of setting up the upsell because it's that much easier, so you'll end up making more money by virtue of doing that. We've also had some people being like, now this actually makes me want to create more courses. We actually create more courses because of the simplicity. So spend a lot of time thinking about that and how can we ultimately, like, as a company, we measure a lot of our success by how much, like the 100 million numbers are really important to us, how much our instructor is selling. So we spend a lot of time working on that. And we're a team of, at this point, almost 65 people in New York, working every day to make this better, unlike WordPress plugins where you download something and then, that's just what it is.
Yeah. And one thing too about Teachable I love was like you offer the free platform. So basically, anyone that's interested, maybe they're not sure yet, but they just want to see, can I actually even just work with the technology? I mean, that's what I did. I signed up for a free account, started playing with it, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, this is. You get to test drive it, before you actually have to pay for it, and that's just. It's
huge. Some people are still on our free plan. I sometimes suspect our free plan is too good, but you can pay a transaction fee and kind of be in the free plan. You don't get any of the advanced features, but it's easy for anyone to give it a shot.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, if any excuse that you have from creating an online course, I mean, Teachable makes it.
Yeah.
You got no excuses.
Yeah, the goal is to just shatter. Like, the biggest thing I want people to feel is that they can do it. Like a lot of people have this mindset of, wow, I want to do this, but it's so much work or it's intimidatingly hard. I just want people to know after seeing this that like it's not hard at all. Anyone can do this. And we want to make it as easy as possible.
Awesome. Ankur, dude, love having you here.
Yeah, it's
dropping
great.
some wisdom bombs with the GFC community.
Yep.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you.